Hey, welcome back to the Black Beacon Project. I'm your host, Tate Johnson, and today we're going to talk about being a Black female dominant in the workplace. Now, a female like me, I identify as so I have that mindset in any aspect of life, whether it's amongst my family, my friends, at work, whatever may have you. But there's a challenge when it comes to being in the workplace as a dominant female. So, a little bit of history about me, or a little bit of background, is I'm a police officer. So, and everybody knows that the history of policing is male dominated. It's usually white males. So, I'm in a position where I was able to be the first Black female canine handler for my agency. Now, you take a Black dominant female that comes into an organization headstrong, dominant, checking shit at the door, strong, confident, and you allow her to just embed herself in that role as a female canine handler from day one, shaking tables. People want to say that, oh, you don't know what you're doing, or she's not going to be good at it, and they want you to fail. And when I say they, that's the naysayers, your haters, friends, family. Sometimes people just don't want you to succeed, but more so, being a Black dominant female, we have to work 10 times as hard as the males do because there's always an ego game going. There's always something going on to where you have to compare yourself to your male counterparts. Can I run as fast as they can? Can I control a dog like they can? Am I able to learn how to be an efficient canine handler just like they can? Even though you know you can do it and you have those confident skills, it's just the fact that when you're put on main display and people want to try to undermine that and try to get in your head to make you quit, that's where the issue lies. And I just want to talk a little bit about that. So let's take out the fact that I'm lesbian, okay? Let's just say let's look at Black women in the workforce all over. Black women have to work 10 times as hard to prove themselves, not because they don't lack the skills. It's because they do have the skills, and it has to be tested over and over and over again. We do our jobs, and we do it damn well. We're attentive, we're strong-minded, we make things shake. And it's just like when it comes to working for any business, any organization, they have to continue to test. Well, she's strong here, so let's pile on some more trouble, or let's pile on some more hurdles to make her go through to see can she stand in the pain. And time again, we have been able to prove ourselves, overcome just going through unnecessary bullying. That's basically what it is. Because anytime a Black female is good at something, or she's well spoken, or she's very elegant, or she's very classy, or she has the head on her shoulders, people always want to challenge that first, compliment it later. So I just wanted to touch bases on that, and just to dive a little bit deeper into it. Being a dominant, being that Black lesbian female, one of the things that I have noticed in my life is when I've gone to a new place of work, or I'm being introduced, maybe I got a promotion, or maybe somebody's just talking to me. People are very attentive. They're watching. They want to know, oh my God, what is she going to do? What is she going to say? They are very attentive to what we are doing from the moment we step on the scene. It's like they're looking for something, whether you're going to fail, or whether you're not as smart, or whether you can't handle the pressure. And what I've noticed is a lot of people are afraid to talk to me. Like, it's hard down. They say that, oh, well, Black women are aggressive, or I'm aggressive, or I appear to not be in the mood to speak. Well, how would you know if I'm in the mood to speak if you didn't try to speak to me in the first place? A lot of people are afraid to approach me. They're afraid to ask me questions. And for me, it makes me feel like, kind of alienated. It makes you feel like, what am I doing different? Anybody can walk in the room, they can start a conversation, is great. But when it comes to me, myself, being dominant, there's always a hesitation. I'm not sure if people are just intrigued or, they want to know more about the lifestyle or whatever may have you. But people, they tend to run from me. It's just like, or the ones that do speak and they do say something to me, it's like sometimes they say the most ridiculous thing ever. And it's just like, okay, that was pointless. Like instead of somebody being like, hey, tell you what's up, how you doing? They be like, oh, you're at work today? No, I'm actually home right now, sitting on my couch. This is just a hologram. Like, it's like their train of thought just leave their body and they say the most ridiculous things to me. And sometimes I can come off a little bit just blunt and straightforward because I feel like, people who steer clear of me are the ones that I have to be aware of, are the ones that I have to watch. In every job that I've had, when I got that initial feeling, it was always someone in that group, someone in that little circle. I might want to steer clear of them. And that whole saying is everybody wants you to do good, but not better than them. Boy, I can tell you, when I got K9, I saw a lot of people's true colors, and it's just like, it kind of makes you think. People say that they support you and they want to get to know you. They want to understand our lives, but when they have the opportunity to, it comes off as jealousy, or it comes off as we have to put in twice as work as you do, because if we don't, we get crossed out the box off the bat. Um, and that's just something that I just wanted to really just speak about. Um, 7 minutes on the clock here. Um, let's see. Outside of law enforcement, so when I was working a regular job, Walmart warehouse, I did McDonald's for like 2 weeks. I was in the military, and that same that same thing is been persistent, whether it's law enforcement or not. And I think it's just a norm. Culture today is just, people are so stuck in the old ways. They're so stuck in the old way of thinking that they're not open to having conversations with Black people. And that's how I feel. And you see it. You're in Publix. You're walking down the soup aisle trying to find you something to eat, and the person's just staring you up and down. Like, okay, they're not saying hello. They're just staring at you like you got three heads and six legs, and it makes you feel weird. Or like, before I had bought my house, I was in a furniture store here in Melbourne, actually, and a beautiful furniture store. Walking in, looking at everything. I'm like, okay, just trying to visualize of what I want in my home. And I'm not sure if he was a manager, clerk, or whatever, but he was just looking. And he watching. And he's staring. Every time he's just as if I'm gonna pick up a couch, put it on my back, and run out the front door with it on my back, or I'm about to just take off running with some lamps. Like, chill. I'm just here shopping, But it's just that hesitation, of that uncertainty. It makes us feel weird, Especially when you're a dominant female. Like, you walk in there, you got your fucking your fitted cap on, or you got your beanie, or you got the fresh twist, or you got a fresh cut. You looking good. Outfit's flawless. You look nice. You present yourself nice, and people look at you like you just a rare human being that they've never seen before. And I said that to say this, even though workplace and home life is different, when it comes to us dominant females, they are one and the same. We go through a lot of judgment. We go through a lot of this unnecessary judgment, unnecessary bullying, unnecessary comments uh, that's also made, especially when you work in a job and be around a whole lot of men. They say stuff that's very inappropriate. Um, some of it is like more towards like, oh well, it's still some good men out there. Oh well, it's just it's very weird. We're not really just accepted to just be, because I want to dress this way or look this way. It really rubs people the wrong way. But being a black dominant in the workplace has always been something for me that is just, I just couldn't quite put my finger on it. So, if you guys have any comments or share any similar stories, I definitely want to hear about it. I definitely want to know uh, if you feel the same. If it's just me, is it just, my perception, or, is this something that a lot of people are experiencing and going through as well? Please like, and follow, subscribe, check me out. Come up to the show for an interview. You can always send me an email, tatejohnson1111 at gmail.com. And thank you guys for listening. I appreciate you.